Now, here's the thing. I want you to understand why reparations is going to go through this time in some form or another, unless you stand up. This is nothing about slavery anymore. It's not about slavery. Because the argument used to be, who's going to get it? How are you going to trace, who gets the money, who doesn't get the money? It doesn't matter anymore because white people are oppressive. So if you're white, you don't get it. You pay. If you're anything other than white, you will get it. You're not going to just give it to African Americans because whites have also kept every other race down by this oppressive system. So it's no longer, don't try to use logic with any of these things. You can't argue logic anymore because this has nothing to do with anything other than the premise that you must universally accept white people are racist and have oppressed all other races. They're the problem. So they caused all these problems, gained all this wealth by oppression. It's time for them to have their wealth taken and given to anyone they've oppressed.
I agree with your premise that logic has nothing to do with this. But how can you constitutionally do this?
Oh, you can't.
You can't, right? You can't say, I think people with this color skin should get X, Y, and Z.
No.
There was a reason we amended the Constitution so things like that couldn't happen.
Yeah, but that is, again, you can't use logic. We're talking anti-racism. And anti-racism is different than being against racism. Anti-racism, according to its own creed, must discriminate
against white people.
Right. You must be racist against white people, and white people are the only ones that can be racist. So you must understand that they are racist, and the only way to repair this is to punish them.
But, how could you do this? You would say what? If you happen to be a minority, come get your money? How?
No, it'll all go through programs. They will just allot money to programs, and
that only
I think by the time
color.
Yeah, and I think the time that this happens, it's going to happen in one of two ways. Two ways reparations are going to happen in this country because elections have consequences. So the way they want it to happen is that it will be a direct transfer of wealth, that you'll take money from high income, people just raise taxes like crazy.
Yeah, you take money from Glenn Beck and give it to black people Glenn Beck is oppressed.
Correct. What they'll do is they will, the way they would like to do it is to have categories of people. And so everybody will pay a very high tax, but you will be exempt from it if you check this box, and this box. Okay? So you're going to be receiving the money if you check certain boxes.
I don't know how.
Okay, I don't either.
Even close to constitutional.
I don't either. Here's the way I think it is going to happen. It's going to happen through programs.
Yeah.
So they will just start taxing everybody really high, especially if you make over a certain amount of money. And remember, if, you're probably a race trader anyway, if you're making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so you will be able to check boxes as well. If you are in an upper category, you may get some benefits from it, but it will generally be through programs. And it'll be like the Great Society. That was all supposed to help. Well, we've spent $23 trillion on the Great Society since LBJ put that into effect. $23 trillion. The black community is not doing better. It's doing worse. It's doing worse because that dismantled that community and those families. They were entrepreneurs. They had more stable marriages than white people did. I mean, that was a growing, thriving community that just needed a chance, when they had stable families and they were entrepreneurs under the kind of discrimination that they had in the 50s, why, once that discrimination is supposedly taken away and the Great Society starts, how did that break up families and destroy things? I contend because it was intended to, and so will this. But it is going to come through programs, hook or by crook. Reparations are going to come because elections have consequences.